Now, in a moment, we're going to learn about this project to get the household batteries that you and I use into a recycling plant. Why aren't we doing this already? We're going to hear about this brave project.
If you've been through a disaster, like an earthquake, a fire or flood, you'll know they're overwhelming. I'm Dr. Kate Brady, and I work with communities after emergencies and research what happens in the months and years after these events. Join me for After the Disaster, a podcast to help you find your way through and beyond these life-changing moments.
Most people who are not in the community don't really understand the experience of disaster.
Find it on the ABC Listen app, the ABC Emergency website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Focus. With Cassie McCullagh.
Now, when you look around your home, how many TV remote controls or toys or alarms or, well, whatever, air conditioning controls perhaps, do you have that are all powered by the good old A4 or A3 standard alkaline battery? The recycling of these little things has been a thorn in our sides for a long time. But now, one Australian company is getting its act together to build the first recycling battery processing plant to tackle this issue. They're using Finnish technology, which transforms toxic batteries into organic liquid fertiliser for farming. How is that possible? Brett Smuts is with us. He is the CEO of this company. It's called ReNutrients. Hello, Brett.
Hi, Cassie.
Now,
thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, look, it's such a welcome news that something's been done, because I always feel just dreadful. Luckily here at the ABC we have little places where you can bring batteries, but sometimes I just have no idea what to do with them.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, it's hard to believe that we don't have a recycling option for these alkaline batteries, and unfortunately they're just ending up in 96% of them in our general waste and in our landfills, which leaches into has the potential to leach into our own drinking water.
Right, is that what happens? Is it?
Pretty much. There's no solution at the moment for a real recycling option, and our batteries aren't able to be sent offshore anymore, and rightly so, because we know when we send them offshore, they're going to just end up in landfill somewhere else. So we have the solution to bring to Australia. We currently have our product here to sell to our farmers, but it's nice to be able to tell people that we have a good environmental option now to dispose of these batteries.
Okay, well, tell us how it works, because I've got to be honest, I don't quite understand how you can get a battery into a farm as fertiliser. So
basically, alkaline batteries are made from zinc and manganese. Zinc and manganese are really important nutrients for plants. So what we do is we take the plastic cover off the battery. That can be sent to plastic recyclers. The steel shell of the battery is taken off, and that's sent to steel recyclers. And what we're left with is a black mass, is what we call it, which is combined of zinc, manganese, and a few other nasty chemicals that we don't want to use in our end product. So the technology is able to cleanse this, remove any heavy metals or chemicals that we don't want, and through a leaching process, we come out with a product that's so clean at the end that it is comprising of just zinc and manganese, and we have Australian certification for input for organic farming.
I see. It's just incredible. So, and the farmers that are they already on board with this? Is this already happening?
Yeah, we already have product in Australia, selling it to various farmers. It's widely used in probably 90% of crops in Australia. There's a huge deficiency of zinc. This is largely due to the age of our soils. Australian land is very old, so the nutrients have been depleted. We're also lucky enough in Australia to have such a big agricultural industry because we have such good seasons and we can have double crops. But unfortunately, these double crops and high yielding crops suck a lot of the nutrients out of our soils. So we're left with a lot of deficiencies that need to be treated pretty much every time a crop is planted. So that's where zinc deficiency came across in Australia. But we have basically a double solution. We have a solution for the waste, but we also have a solution to support our farming industry by supplying this zinc and manganese micronutrient that they need.
Wow. Yeah, that's such an issue, isn't it? The way that so much of our soil has had nutrients leached out of it just because we're so ancient and been exposed to the elements for so many, millions of years. Okay, so where are you at with this? I mean, what's the big picture plan and how far off is it?
Sure. So we've had our product here for about a year. We've been selling it through various farmers. Obviously, a lot of farmers want to do testing on different new products, which is normal in the farming industry. We're selling it to some farmers. We're testing with some farmers, but our end goal has always been to have a facility here in Australia where we can utilise Australian waste and basically have an Australian-made product, so that we can grow and continue to use the waste and support our farming industry. So we currently have an crowdfunding equity raise, which we believe can reach out to every Australian that really cares about waste, just like we have done with plastic bags. We all got on board with that, and we've made a huge impact through our supermarkets by reducing the amount of plastic waste. So we're asking also all supermarket chains to get on board and to have available bins that everyone can dispose of their alkaline batteries safely, and that in a few years' time we have our own factory here in Australia that can really process this waste.
So have you got much enthusiasm from, well, I guess the supermarkets, but what about the government? Have you had any interactions with the government and funding and those avenues?
We have. We're in contact with the federal government and also the Queensland government. Queensland government's been great and really supports the idea of a factory here in Queensland. We're working closely with the Battery Stewardship Council, which is a council set up to put this recycling program in place. And they're doing a great job. As of January next year, they'll have their B-cycle system in place where collectors of batteries and processors of batteries will be rewarded with different collection amounts and dollar figures on collection and processing, and this will only spur on the need to recycle and help companies like us have raw material to convert into clean, useful products.
Wow. Well, good on you, Brett. This sounds fantastic because it's one of those things that you know that you want to do something better than what you're currently doing, but there don't seem to be many solutions, and that's what you're providing. Well, good luck. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on the show, and we hope to continue to address this waste issue in Australia.
Well, that's what we want. We want more Aussie ingenuity and know-how doing exactly that. Brett Smuts, he's the Managing Director of ReNutrients, which is recycling alkaline batteries into fertiliser for farming, those valuable elements useful to farmers. How about that? Incredible stuff. Okay, now, look, Conversations is next with Sarah Konoski, and her guest today is the writer Kate Legg, who has, discovered this incredible old story, a century-old story about some naturalists who fell in love with Tasmania. That'll be great fun. And then, of course, Josh and Richard. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.